morning.
Morning.
Glad to see all of you here today. And I'm going to give a message today on my testimony and as well as the message. And the reason I'm doing that is I had quite a struggle through the years. In fact, I fell away for about 30 years, and where I could have been serving the Lord. And so there may be some of you that are in that same boat that's having problems or whatever. And I'm hoping that through this, that you'll know what direction to go instead of the way that I went. And then there's times, we have trouble with people in the church, or we have trouble with the church, and I encourage you, don't turn away from the Lord. Turn to the Lord. If you have to, you can go to another church or go somewhere else, but stay with the Lord. Don't turn away, because 30 years I did turn away. So,
Leonard, would you put that mic up in front of you so it can be a little easier?
a little better, is that better?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Get John back here. You want to open us in a word of prayer, John?
Yes, sir. Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you that your Holy Spirit's here. And we trust and pray your word upon Leonard, that his spirit would rest upon you and fill you, and he would just bring your word, spirit and truth. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I'd like to start by opening up with Matthew 7:13 and 14. It is, enter you into the straight gate. Wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be within that thereat. Be straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leads into life, and few there be to find it. We all desire the narrow and straight gate, but the price is usually too great. So, the message today, the title of the message today is, what does it take to get our attention? It starts way back in World War II. I had a great aunt that was in the Philippines, and she got, they picked her up, the Japanese got her and took her into a prison camp, and for 4 years, luckily she didn't have to go through the death march and all of that. However, she was, they just fed her a little bowl of rice, just enough to keep her alive, but the pain and the suffering that she had to go through, and she went through that for 4 years. And of course, when she came out, she was a pretty strong Christian. Well, when it came time for me to be born, she decided that she was going to make an evangelist or a preacher out of me somehow or other. So when I was growing up, she would send books and stuff for my mom to read to me. And so she would read to me. And when I got to be in high school, she wanted me to come to California, and she wanted to put me into a Bible class or school, which I wasn't interested in that. And then when I got married the first time, she came to my wedding, and she even at that time wanted me to go to California to a seminary, and she said she'd pay for everything, and if I went, she would even give me her inheritance when she died. Well, again, I wasn't interested in that. And so then, after my first marriage only lasted about 6 months, and so when that happened, well, she kind of disowned me. So when it come time for the inheritance, my sister and my cousins got it. I didn't get nothing. Then I had a lot of problems with Christians as I was going along. In fact, that kind of helped to the problems that I had. To begin with, my first marriage was to a Catholic lady, and so they changed things around. So before that, you had to become a Catholic if you was going to marry a Catholic. But they had changed it so that you could just take a marriage class. And so we went to the first marriage class, and here this priest, here he is when he opens the door first to come into his house. Here he is, he's drunk, and he's smoking a cigar big as your thumb about so long. The smoke to roll it in there. And when he takes us into his den, well, couldn't hardly breathe. And I'm sitting there, and from all the stuff that I heard my mom read to me, I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, you know, he is supposed to be a representative of God, and here he is. He don't have no consideration for us or nothing else. Well, immediately we decided that he wasn't going to be the priest, he was going to be married or whatever. The second thing that I run into is I was an auto mechanic, and I'd worked at several dealerships, and this one wanted me to come to work for him. And since the place I was at got a new service manager, and didn't quite get along with him, and so this other dealer gave me a pretty good deal, so I decided to go there and work for him. And here he was supposed to be a quote Christian, and he was even a deacon in the church. Well, when I got there, I was there about a month, and I realized that this man, he was so crooked that when he died, they'd either have to cremate him or screw him into the ground. And so his big deal was he'd pull something on somebody when he sold the car, and if the customer come back on him, well, he'd go, "Oh, I am so sorry, I'm having trouble with this employee, I don't know, I may have to fire him." Then he'd pick whoever was closest to the situation, and then he'd come to that employee and ream him out in front of this guy to make it look like it was his fault rather than the dealer's fault. This one day, this was happening to a guy that was beside me in the bay, and I knew good and well that there was no truth in any of that. And I made a pact that day it wasn't going to happen to me. Well, guess what? Here come the salesman in one day, and he was started in, and I reached over and grabbed the wrench, and I run him out of there. And so he went and told the boss, and so the boss, he came down, and he prancing down through there like a bandy rooster. When he come through the door, I had him and had him bent over the bench, and I was about to bust him. And there was a sound or a voice that I'd never heard. It had a lot of authority, and it said, "Stop, Leonard. You've proved your point. Don't go any further, you regret it." And I listened to that voice, and so I told the guy, I said, "Well, I guess it's time for me to get my toolbox and get out of here." And he said, "Yeah, I think it is." So I let him up and he left, and I'm standing there just kind of in shock with what had just happened. And there was a colored fellow there that was a mechanic, and he leans over the vehicle and he peeks over and he said, "Hey man," he said, "that's the bravest thing I ever seen done." I said, "Well, it may have been the bravest, but kind of stupid. Now I got a job." He said, "Oh no, you've got a job." He said, "In 30 minutes you're going to be back to work." He said, "You get your toolbox ready, and I'll help you load it and take you to the next place." I'm thinking, who in the world? I just threatened to assault two people and somebody wants me to go to work for them. So I got ready and he took me to a plateau station. I don't know if any of you remember that, Johnson. And so he said, "Wait here a minute." He went in and he came back out and said, "Okay, the guy wants to talk to you, go on in." And I said, "Before you leave," I said, "who was it that you hollered? Stop, Leonard. You've proved your point. Don't go any further, you'll regret it." He said, "I never heard that. I heard you just giving him 1, 2, 3. So anyway, I went in and there was this young, tall, lanky guy there, and he looks me up and down and he says, "I've got 2 questions for you." He said, "The first one, are you a Christian?" I said, "No." He said, "The second question, have you got anything against a Christian?" I said, "No." He says, "I can use you." So he helped me unload my box. And for all of you to know, that was Rick Barton. So that was the first time that the Lord had called for me, but I was too stupid to understand that. But anyway, I worked for Rick for about a year and a half. And then I had an opportunity to go be a car salesman. I thought, "Boy, that'd be damn when I get dirty anymore, get a new car." Well, the thing about selling cars, it's a whole lot like taking care of a garden. And you've got to put a little fertilizer on it to get the deal to grow. If you put too much on, you'll burn it. Well, I couldn't do that. I couldn't tell somebody that the valve was about to go out of its car, or the transmission was slipping, or what have you. I couldn't do it. Well, within 6 months, I was fired. I was devastated, and I didn't know what to do. I told my dad about it. He says, "Well, come on out here to the garage and start the shop here." And I said, "Well, who will come this And he said, well, your uncle's down the road, and seems to be doing all right. And he said, in fact, why don't you go talk to him? So I did. Well, it was a little later on, I happened to run into Rick, and he said, what are you doing now? And I said, well, I'm trying to start a shop out there at the house. He says, well, I'm giving up Plateau. And he said, I'll contact all my customers and tell them about you, which he did. So I had business from Lake City to Crescent Butte in between. So the biggest customer I had was Rick. He had a little old yellow Renault car. Color was perfect because it was constantly broke down. And I'd get that and I'd get it fixed, take it back to him. Invariably, I'd get there and Mel would say, he's off of the Bible study at Webster Hall. You'll have to go over there. So I'd go over. One man, I get in there and I mean, here's all these people are singing, they put their hands in the air. Oh, what is all this? And so this one time I come in there and Rick said, are you real busy today? I said, no. He said, well, I want to come and I want to talk to you. And I said, okay. So now he takes me down amongst all these people. You know, God, it's darn. So we get down there and he said, have you ever accepted the Lord as your personal Savior? And I said, no, I never have. He said, would you like to? So I thought about it a while, and I thought, you know, he's the only real Christian that I ever run into, that whatever he said, that's the way it was going to be. And so I thought, you know, I'd kind of like to be like that. And so I said, yeah, I would. And so he helped me with the sinner's prayer. When he got through, he said, well, now you're going to have to thank the Lord for coming into your life. Well, I'd never ever prayed before in my life. I had no idea about it. And he said, well, it's just, you know, when somebody gives you something, don't you thank them? I said, yeah. He said, well, that's what you do for the Lord. I said, okay. So I guess it was probably one of the shortest prayers that was ever out there. I said, dear Heavenly Father, thank you, amen. But anyway, I started going to Bible studies with him. At that time, he had Bible studies in Lake City, Crescent Butte, and out of World. And so I could make the one in Lake City and the ones here in Blakely. And I've done that until the summertime came along. And then he says, well, now it's time for you to be baptized. And I go, oh my goodness, what's this about? And so he says, well, it's a testimony to the public that you've accepted Christ. I said, okay. So we went to Juanita Hot Springs, and there was a gal that I graduated out of high school, and her husband went along as well as a bunch more. So we went out there and was baptized. Yeah, I want to stop at this point. I want to explain a little bit about baptism and what happens afterwards. Baptism is not only a sign of your testimony, but it's a sign that you died with Christ, and you arose, and now you are in Christ. In fact, I want to read to you 2 Galatians 20. And that says, I am crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I live, yet not I, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. So, it's not about you anymore, it's about Christ. You're supposed to have given your life totally to him. And now, the next thing that happens is Jesus was taken into the wilderness and was tempted for 40 days. Well, it's not about us being tempted for 40 days, but we're tempted, and tempted bad. Because Satan, he don't want to lose anybody. And so, when I was going to these Bible studies, they'd always ask, what's the Lord done in your life? And this one guy would always get up and boy, he would tell how the Lord done this and how the Lord done that. And I thought, oh, you know, I would like that to happen in my life. Well, at that point in time, I was working 2 jobs. I was working as a mechanic in the daytime and sheriff's deputy at night. And I'd go to work at 4 o'clock with the sheriff's department. And three jobs that I might be doing. I might be a road deputy, or I might be a jailer, or I might be transporting metals to the state hospital in Pueblo. And I didn't know what I'd be doing until I got there at 4 o'clock. Well, this one particular night I get there at 4, and they said, tonight we want you to be the jailer. Okay. So when it come time to feed the prisoners, well, I looked in there, and here's this guy that was supposed to the Lord was supposed to be doing all that stuff. And I'm going, what's he doing? Well, I can't hardly wait to get them fed and get things done so I can check paperwork to find out what in the world he's in there for. Well, it comes to find out that he tried to stab a preacher. And when they called the law, he attacked the cops. And so now old Satan, he is pretty sly, pretty slick. He says to me, he says, hey, you want to wind up like that? And I'm thinking, you know, no, I don't want to wind up like that. You know, I'll think this over, you know, I'm going my God. So, I fell away. For 30 years, I fell away from the Lord. And when I came back, 30 years later, after the Lord had got me down to the years and got my attention fully, I came back and I couldn't believe it, but all of the churches seemed to have fell away too. They weren't nothing like it was when I was left. Well, I couldn't figure it out for several years, and finally I come up to the fact that with the modern church movement that came across the United States, that people had developed more money, they had nice homes, nice cars, they didn't miss a meal. And so now they got so that they didn't need God as much. To give you a fact, 48 years ago, the average amount of time that people were in church was 12 times a month. Last year, it was 2 times a month. That's how bad things have slipped away. Another thing that I've found is people don't want to have to change. They want to do it their way. They want to go and serve Christ in their way instead of changing and doing it His way. If they come to a church or a Bible study and they get to talking about how they need to change or what they need to do, well, then they'll change. They'll go somewhere else where they have their ears tickled, how the Lord loves them and they're saved by grace and that they don't have to do anything. You know, they feel they can continue to live as they always have. And yet they think they're saved. And this is where they're on the big road. So, the shepherd, when a lamb keeps running off, what he would do is he would catch that lamb and he'd break its leg, and then he'd reset it. Well, then that lamb had to be with that shepherd. And so, when the time these leg heals, well, he would stay with the flock and with the shepherd. Well, the Lord, He broke me good. He didn't break my leg, but He broke me good. He allowed me to run into this lady that seemed like a very nice lady. She was from back in North Carolina. We went together for probably a year or so before we were married. She claimed to be a Christian. We had a lot of fun together. It seemed like this was the one that I wanted. So we got married. But 2 weeks, the honeymoon was over, and I didn't recognize this person. She had bipolar, something fierce. She was so jealous that she didn't want me to talk to anybody. It didn't matter, man, woman, whatever, not even her own family. She wanted complete control. And being with the resort, that's kind of tough, because you got to talk to the people. And so my cousin, he was our accountant, and he came up and he had a question. And so my mom called down the intercom and said, come over, Bill's got a question for you. So I went over, talked to him, and afterwards, I came back, and boy, I was getting ready to go to town. I had things I was sitting in my little office, and here she come, she came at me and started beating, and whatever, she's good. And after a while, I decided I had enough of that. I was getting out of the room, and when I did, she had a skull sore in this boat. And so So she told the law, because there's blood running. And so here they come, and they arrested me, and I said, well, what about her? And, the deputy looked me over and he said, is that where you got your black eye and your teeth all swelled up? And I said, yeah. So he arrested us both, and we wound up in jail. And, the hearing, we got out on a $300 fine and had a year of anger management. And I thought, well, maybe this will help her. No, it made it worse, 2 to 3 times worse. So I had a sleeping bag and coveralls and stuff hid out in the barn, because there was times I had to escape. And I was spending it out there in that barn at 20 below zero, wondering whether I was gonna make it through the night or not. And I'm praying, Lord, if you get me out of this mess, I'm gonna turn my life over to you. Well, finally, one night, a friend of mine from Kansas called, and I could tell she was starting to get pretty antsy, and so I thought, well, maybe if she talked to him, she would, cool her down. But when she got through, I'm telling you, dishes, wood, shoes started flying, and out of the door I went, and I headed outside, it was in March. And the circle around, she's after me and throwing whatever she could. And I come back through the house, grabbed the cell phone, slipped it into my pocket. I didn't know, how am I gonna get away from this woman? And, pretty soon she says, I'm going over and I'm gonna kill your mom. I've had it with her. And I look at my watch and it's 8:30. And I knew she went to bed and she locked the doors at 8. So I thought, well, this may be where I need to get out. So when she headed that way, I jumped into the feed truck and had bales of hay all over. So I thought, well, I'll be scattering hay from here to town, but I didn't really care at that point. So I headed down, and at that time I got to Highway 114 and 50, called the sheriff. He says, hang in there and I'll pump you out. I said, well, I'm coming to town. I see lights coming behind me at a high rate of speed. So I'm coming to town. So I said, okay. So I head for town. He knows what I'm driving. And when I get out here to cut, just east of Tamica Village, well, I pass it. So I pull in here to Tamica Village. And I'm turning around, and here she comes. And I'm just sure she's going to hit me broadside. I mean, here she just coming right. But the last minute she turned, misses me probably that much. And well, the deputy had to see all of that. And he runs up in between us and tells me to pull up there. And he reaches over to his little microphone and he says, I need help out here. Well, I want you to know there was no city cops in Johnson. There was no state patrol on the highway. There was no deputies in the county. There was no game and fish in the hills. They were all at Tamica Village. They were as thick as bugs on a bumper now, I'm telling you what. And they had us locked down right away. He asked me a few questions and then he hollered out, take her to jail. And so she went to jail. And she wandered out, she rented a house on the creek from us for a while. And the undersheriff at that time, he went and told her to get neighbors and help her move out of the house. And so they did. They came, the sheriff's deputy came, he came to me, they cleaned the house out. And when they got that done, the undersheriff took her to the bus station and they put her on the bus and said, you live in North Carolina. She said, well, I want to talk to Leonard first. She said, well, it's over between you. You're not welcome here in this country anymore. You leave. The only time you can come back is to get your stuff, but you can't set foot on the ranch or contact him whatsoever. After she took off, he came to my house and he told me to go down and get a divorce. And I said, well, what's the deal? And he says, well, he said, you're in a case that, every case that's ever been, the third time's the charm. And he said, when that happens, one or both of you is going to wind up dead. And he said, I'm not going to stand here and let that happen. And so, I applied for a divorce. When the divorce was over, I said, Lord, I told you I'd turn my life to you at one point. That's when I came back and I started going to 3 different churches. I was going to Gunnison Valley Baptist Church, which was up by Antelope Creek, which is now Blue Mesa Baptist. I was coming to this church when they were in town, and I was going to Rick's Bible study. And I done that, and Rick kept telling me, he said, you need to ask the Holy Spirit to come into your life. And so I started praying for that. I prayed for that for 4 years. And nothing happened, and I thought, well, I've done screwed up. The Lord done up on me. Rick, he says, no, he said, it's the Lord's time, not yours. He asked me what I was praying, and I told him, I said, I told you to send the Holy Spirit to me. He said, well, why don't you try this? He said, here I am, use me. Which I did. And it happened. It came into my heart. And I just felt like something had entered me. And immediately I became so hungry for the Word that I read the Bible through. I was Bible studies everywhere I could, involved in whatever I could. And so this, right here at this point, is a good example of how grace works in our life. If you turn your life to Christ, regardless of what you've done, if you turn it to Him, you can be saved by grace. This is what grace is talking about at this point. So, I had evidence that grace worked at that point. The Holy Spirit had come into my life. So after I received the Holy Spirit, well, then the Lord started giving me assignments. And the first one He gave me was a greeter. And I thought, gosh, a greeter? Surely there's something better than this. I mean, that's what I want. And I hear him in the background saying, did you say, here I am, use me? I said, yes, sir. So I got to be a greeter now. I love it to death. I've been a greeter for numerous churches around the country. The next assignment is 11 years ago. Sergeants, they have a summer church up there in the summertime. And there were some folks up there that decided that they was gonna run that church out of the schoolhouse. And then if they got them out of the schoolhouse, they was gonna try to run them out of town. And so they fought with them for 2 years. And finally, one night, the people that run that church came to one of Rick's Bible studies, was asking for prayer. The Lord's listening as you go. So I went and I called the opposition party. I talked to them for 30 minutes. And they said, well, we want this and that before we quit. And so I called the people from the church and they said, we're not giving any more. We fought for 2 years and we're not giving up any more. So I'm saying, Lord, I hope that this is going to work. Well, this is on a Sunday when I made that call. On Wednesday, I had a letter in hand from the opposition party saying, we don't want more of you with this program. I called the people at Sergeants and told them about it. They can't believe it. After 2 years of fighting, and then here the Lord takes hold of it in 3 days. It's over. And so they just couldn't believe it. So I told them, I said, well, I'll bring you a copy of the letter. So they did Rick's deal. So they came by, and I know he didn't get much out of the service that night, because I bet he read that letter 10 times. And so then, I prayed to the Lord, and I said, what do you want me to do now? And he said, I want you to stay there and help me get back on the field. So I'm there watching, and I see they don't have a sign. So I come to the guy and I said, you need a sign. He said, yeah, who's going to build it? I said, well, I guess it must be I. The Lord told me it had to be done, so I guess it must be me. Well, I've never done a sign before, but I guess we're going to have to do it. He says, well, then I'll build the structure of it, and then you can paint it. I said, okay. So I got the structure and took it home, prayed about it. Miraculously, the Lord just seemed to tell me how to do it. What I could do, what needs to be on that sign. So I got it all done, and so I called him. I said, where do you want me to take this? He said, well, we're going to have service at Dawson Creek outside this week. And he said, put it there on the highway so people will know to turn. I said, okay. So I put it there and told them, and after the service was over, they were just dragging their feet. They just didn't act like they wanted to come down and look at that sign. I think they thought it was like a yard sale sign. Maybe I just took a break and thought. But anyway, finally his friend said, well, I guess we better go. So they go down there and they stop and we look at this sign. And finally the friend said, hey, that's a pretty good looking sign. I said, yeah, it's all right. He says, where do you want me to take it now? He said, well, we've got this double wide mobile home rented at Sergeant's. Going to have church, and he said, we need to take it and put it out there to driveway to that. So we took it there. So next Sunday, we went up there, he tells me, he says, when I get there, he says, well, we don't have greeters here, everybody greets. I said, okay, no problem. So, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, we hear the cars start coming in. And they kept coming in, and they kept coming in, and they kept coming in. And then,
We filled that place.
there was no room for us, for that guy and me. We had to sit out on the porch. And the preacher, he only had about a 6-foot room. I mean, people were right here, clear up to him. I mean, if the fire marshal had showed up, we'd been in trouble, I'm sure. We had a full house. And he looks over at me and he said, you know, I believe your sign's working and we need a greeter. I want you to be the greeter. So, the Lord gave me a lot of other assignments, but as things happened, I got to thinking it was me, and I started patting myself on the shoulder. And the Lord took me through the baptism of fire. I'm telling you, that was right. I didn't think I was going to survive it. When we come out of there, I learned that it is me, it's the Lord. I'm just kind of like a pair of Leatherman pliers. You know, you can take a Leatherman pliers, you've got files, you've got saws, you've got all kinds of screwdrivers and what have you there, but if you lay that thing on the bench and you say, go do something, it ain't gonna do nothing. You've got to work that to make that plier work, and that's the way with us. God has to work us to make it work, and that's what I had to learn from that. The next thing that happened is the Lord inspired me that I needed a business card up there at Sergeant. And so I went home on Sunday. We had one more service left of the year. And so I ordered the cards, but when I put my credit card in, it said that they wouldn't be delivered until some Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, which would be after that service. And I said to the Lord, I said, if this is you, just want me to do that, I'll have that card in time. But if it's me that's wanting this, I'll have it Wednesday. Saturday, I went to the mailbox. I had my card. I'll read this on here, what it's all about on this card. On the front side, it says, not a fan, but a follower of Jesus Christ. It has my name, it has a telephone number, it has my email address. Bottom it says, if you have any questions, I'd love to help you get started in being a follower. On the back, it says, the Bible says there's only one way to heaven. It says, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except by me. John 14:6. Nobody can save you. Trust Jesus today. But if thou confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thy heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. In Romans 10:9. Admit you are a sinner. See Romans 3:10. Be willing to turn from sin. Repent. See Acts 17:30. Believe that Jesus Christ died for you, was buried, and rose from the dead. See Romans 10:9 and 10. Through prayer, invite Jesus to come into your life and become a personal Savior. Romans 10:13. What to pray? This is the little prayer. My Heavenly Father, I come now and open my heart and receive your promise of eternal life through your Son, Jesus Christ. I know that I have sinned. Please forgive my sins and cleanse me. Now I confess aloud that I believe in Jesus Christ. He died for my sins and has raised him from the dead. I receive Jesus Christ as my Savior and Lord in my life. I know that through the resurrection power in his name I'll have forgiveness and eternal life. I receive all this by faith in the wonderful name of Jesus. Amen. This card has led me more further than anything. If I give it to somebody, they think I'm just a crackpot, and I'm sure the first batch did, and it's done. But it's been a good one for me, because if I don't follow this, I'm lying and I'm committing sin. So this is what's been giving me the strength to go ahead and go on. I was passing this card out, and came to a guy that looked at it, and he says, oh, he said, you've taken the study Not a Fan by Kyle Idleman. I said, no. No, I said, I haven't. He said, you might ought to take that study and read the book. He said, because you might find you're still a fan. So I decided, well, maybe I better do that. So I ordered it, and I went through the study, and I read the book, and I realized that's how I was still a fan. And I found out the missing ingredient is Luke 9:23. Jesus says, if anyone comes after me, he must deny himself, pick up the cross daily and follow me. That is the cue to serving the Lord. You cannot do it with yourself. You've got to deny yourself. Yourself will get in the way every time. And after I started implementing that, that's when I got started working with homeless people and different things. There's times it's not daily, it's hourly, but you got to pray for that, for the strength to deny yourself. When you can deny yourself, then you can follow the Lord. But until that time, there's no way. The straight and narrow road, that's the faith in Christ and the cross. If you have faith in Christ and the cross, then you'll want to turn your life to Him. You want to turn it to Him total. And then you'll want to receive the baptism of the Holy Spirit. That's the power that you have. That's what gets you going. And in my case, I was pretty shy until I received the baptism of the Holy Spirit. Before that time, you wouldn't see me up here. But now I'm willing to be here or be wherever I be. Then you've got to be obedient. You've got to follow what He tells you to do. And then you'll be a servant. And the big thing is when all that happens, your life will change. And you will start to produce Christian and godly fruit. If you don't produce godly fruit, you're probably not saved. Because if you ever really met Jesus and do what He said, your life will change and you will produce fruit. There's this, I'm going to close with a song that entitled, I Have Decided to Follow Jesus. I want to tell you how this song came about. There was a missionaries, a man, a wife, and 2 kids went to India on a missions trip to try to bring people to Christ. And they were doing such. And the tribal leader there, he didn't like that. And so he told his tribal Indians or whatever to go and arrest them and bring them to the camp. Which they did. They brought them to the camp, and the tribal leader told them, he said, if you will denounce Christ, I will let you go.